Engineers, start your engines!
Green, green, green.
Because, you know, folks enjoy, you know, looking back now on seeing, you know, they know about sponsors, but they don't see the you know, like the behind the scenes or whatever. What do they do exactly? Where are they located? You know, they don't get to see the people that, you know, run the place. And, you know, you're not hiding, but you're not exactly flamboyant like some of the sponsors. You're not an Andy Granatelli. So, yeah, as far as, you know, seeing what you guys do.
Especially the molded parts. Mm-hmm. Once people see the molded parts, they'll be going down the highway and say, I saw all those trucks driving down the highway with your parts.
That's
EC's. The bottom, the side. The
comes from Elgin, Illinois. Yeah.
No, they can. Going this way, it's better. This will only be.
Yeah, not a problem.
Throwing stuff in there, because this is different than what other. The molding is nobody else does this. I've got patents on it. Anytime you see those parts in those trucks, they're from here. We mold almost 1 million pieces a week. This is poly bagging. So when you go to the store and you buy something, there's a poly bag in there with all the fasteners that are in there. We do it all automatically. A lot of people do that by hand. We're doing it all. This machine costs $150,000 to $200,000 to do this automatically. Speeding up to 8 different parts, not particularly on this bag, but you can see that the 8 different parts, you can see 20 parts. It's just like this. These are the bottom rail bolts for the semi-trailers. It holds the bottom of the semi together. So you got the bolt. They put the washer under there so it won't leak, and of course the nuts on the inside. It's a millions and millions of these. Of course, it's a bag. Anything else we want? We do sheet metal screws, and you'll see some of our stuff when you buy something from Home Depot and you open it up and there's a bag in there. Probably came from here. see what's going on. It's kind of impressive to the customers too when they come in. They're not stuck back in a dark hole anywhere.
In a cage.
It makes the people on the machines feel like they're more involved with the company. I mean, I walk down here in the morning, they all look at me, I smile and I wave.
No, the glass, it opens it up too.
Yeah,
This is confining.
This is all solid glass.
Helps those that are claustrophobic. I'll take you where you want to.
That's what you see all the truck bodies stitched with all the way around, bottom, top.
Now we've seen a lot of
25 million pieces a year.
We've seen a lot of companies going to like lighter, materials, like you say, no rusting. Are you guys moving more toward plastics, or is the technology changing? Is it always going to be a little bit of metal,
Well,
aluminum?
the sidewalls are plastic. They're plastic. Inside's plastic. The outside's still got thin metal, painted, molded together, light. They used to use plywood, fiberglass reinforced plywood.
Wow.
And then it was, probably 3/4 of an inch thick. This is only, an 1/8 of an inch thick, and it's as strong as the plywood.
Wow.
Once you laminate all that together.
Is the industry changing quickly, or is it just what pops up? Oh, hey, gee, we got a new technology, or
Well, the industry gets changed by people that walk in with ideas. What do you think about doing this? What do you think about doing this? How do you do this? There was no molded parts 10 years ago. There wasn't any. We started with one machine and ran it a couple hours a day.
wow.
But I took it in and I showed it to everybody, and pretty soon everybody started to use it. That's how we ended up with the business. Trying to produce something where the truck body doesn't rust. Looks
Right.
good, stays good, because that's their billboard now.
Right.
How they advertise.
Right. Now, how many square feet is this right here in Elgin?
80,000. This is 80,000 square feet. Lafayette, Indiana is like 40,000 square feet, and Wisconsin's like 10,000 square feet. And then I just bought the building next door. It's 100,000 square feet.
Oh, wow.
To expand further, because we're at our limits. And of course, I took some space away with the museum,
Right. Well, priorities.
which was I was going to say that's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got to have some diversity. That's why we go race. And that's why I set up a museum.
No, it's
Preserve some history.
well. The first thing that caught my eye was the cleanliness, and the second thing I caught was there's a lot of people smiling. I don't think it's just because the boss is walking through here, but I like the fact you let them play the radio at the. I mean, not like they can't help it, but let them play the radio at the volume they want.
There's a major customer. Her name is Hilti. They're worldwide. Hilti is worldwide.
Okay.
Like a $4 billion corporation worldwide. And so they come in here once a year with 2 or 3 people, go through our QC, check everything out, make sure that we're taking care of all the proper paperwork. They're the people that build the airports, the huge things around the world. When they came in here, they brought 10 people of their inspectors to train in that area over there. And when they were here, they told me, they said, this is the most well-organized and cleanest company, including some of our locations around the world. So those are the specs that we have, that we live up to, and that's why you could probably go down on this floor and probably roll around and you probably won't even get dirty. It's like they got the guy coming in tomorrow. This way.
Well, and not only that, it's relatively warm outside. It's been warm the last couple of weeks here. When I don't mean to date my programs, but we're in the August time of year, and it's comfortable in here. It's not.
Keep it that way.
Yeah. And back to the racing angle of it. Do you get?
She's got a nice picture of both of our haulers. They're being worked on right now.
Okay.
Season. Yeah, take a look at that one.
Yeah.
Both of them were in a gas station, gassing up. The one I was driving was 81 feet long. It was a foot over legal by mistake because I didn't figure on the front bumper. And by the time I put a front bumper on the Volvo, it came to 81.
Well, hopefully nobody measured on you and ratted you out.
Put it on with a couple of pins. So in case they measured it, I was going to ask them, can I pull the 2 pins and take the bumper off? But they never pulled us over.
Hopefully somebody watching this doesn't get that idea now to, let's measure. Is this the one that caught on fire?
Yeah.
Oh, the Cadillac.
I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, burned, blew an oil line. Any of the oil lines now that we have, we completely cover those oil lines with something steel, in case one ever breaks.
Wow.
The oil's going to at least stay in the tubing.
Right. And what year was this happened again?
I think it was like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, something like that. The body was completely burned off of it. Well, you see some of the remnants over here.
Wow.
And it was his left hand, because he couldn't see, he had to stick his left. It was fire, and he had to stick his left hand up there to pull the window net down. So he didn't have a choice but to put his hand up there, and it burned his glove off.
As a dad, when you see things like that, dad and supporter and a backer, do you think, you know what, maybe that's enough? Did that kind of enter your mind at the time, or?
Well, that's why we got Adam Andretti's was driving one of our cars. Now we got Boris Said driving the car. Although AJ is going to start, he just ran over the weekend and 2 races. He finished second in one and won the other one in Michigan. He can't get out of his blood, and I can't either. It doesn't go away. We try, but it doesn't work.
For lack of a better word, it's like an illness, sickness.
It is. Ask my wife; she'll tell you.
Yeah.
But she came from auto racing.
Oh, okay.
So.
Which is a good thing.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, we'd be in divorce.
Honey, you can have the race team. I'll take the rest. You don't want to hear that.
Yes.
You guys maybe rebuild this, or?
I keep telling them to take it next door, and he said, no, we're going to put it back together. It was a Cadillac.
It was pretty.
It was a
picture I saw.
beautiful Cadillac.
Well, in a way, people talk about stock car racing. I would say these are a bit more stock than,
Well, the bodies are.
Yeah, right. The bodies are. I mean, I know that you really can't run speeds that we run anymore on the speedways or the road courses in a stock car. I mean, some do, but they're not approaching the triple-digit speeds that we're doing. But I mean, as far as stock, this would be more.
When we run the Trans Am race at Daytona, he was running 208 down the straightaway with a Trans Am car.
Wow.
He almost run as fast as the Cup cars.
Do not restrict us. That's the last thing we want. Do not restrict us. The one thing I noticed is you touch a little bit of all of your racing history, the 60s. It looks like 60s on up to today, where it started until today, which is good. Which is a lot of people sometimes forget their history.
stamp finds is that Dick Trickle car.
Yes.
Anybody that sees that car says, that's not Dick Trickle's car, it's not number 99. He drove that one time in Milwaukee. In fact, AJ actually talked to the owner of that.
And that's the original.
And we do have, that's the original.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an original. He drove it one time at the USAC Stock Car Race in Milwaukee.
Yeah, there's a lot of pictures of it,
Look it up from there.
pop up on there. So